So I saw somebody said AI is to your time as interest is to your money.
I love that. Yeah, it is a...
Compound interest is to your money.
I have a buddy who has an AI company, and I was having dinner with him, and he has this product where he's like, it's like I think it's like $1,000, and he's like, if you do this little program that he has, and he has these. I mean, this is all he does.
Yeah.
So he has these prompts, and he's like, if you take your workflow and put in these prompts for like a minute every day, I promise I will cut down. It's like 20 or 30% of your workflow, and if not, I'll give you your money back in a month. And so I was like, dude, sign me up. So like I have, and I just haven't started using it. But when he was walking me through it, the complexity of the prompts are going to be like, you remember sometimes at Rackspace you'd go to a programmer and they would have a repository where they had lines of code. And they were just dropping whole lines of code for certain things. Yeah. It's the same thing with AI. So the prompts are getting really, really sophisticated, which is awesome. And so I just go, that's what I need. Like that's the next level up.
Well, that's what we went through a training thing, and like you create custom ChatGPTs.
Yes.
Doing that.
Now some of them, like I don't think some of them are. What was I reading? I was either reading something or watching something. Oh, there's a video I need to send you on YouTube. It's this AI dude, and he's giving a conference, and he's talking about how some of the things that it does are super complex, and then some of the things it's really dumb about. But he was like, the future is these things that it's doing. And I was like, that's exactly right. Because sometimes it'll do a complex thing, and then I'll tell it, like, remove all the dashes from this article. And it won't do it. I'm like, just like do this one. I have to tell it over and over. But yeah, man, it's like...
Those M dashes, right? The giveaway?
Yes. It gives it all. I'm like, once you do that, I'm like,
Did you see I posted about that?
Yeah.
People were going off like, this is how I type. And I'm like, I never seen...
Yeah. Nobody types with space.
Yeah, nobody,
like
yeah.
I'm like, no, I do that. Like, I just take it out because, like, the average person don't really understand or use it, so I don't use it. But you can't think that AI writes for me because I know how to write well. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to argue with you, but good engagement. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was I learned about that custom ChatGPT where like I put like a long ass prompt kind of thing of like who we are, what I am, what I want, the style I want it to respond in. I want it to use apostrophe S's and stuff, and not I want it to say I'm, not I am,
right,
and like all of that, and then with a certain for this is like just to find good articles and stuff to do content and stuff around. And like the keyword is fetch, and like all I gotta do is open that ChatGPT, that custom one, type in fetch, and it'll give me 10 articles with like information, and then I just can say, okay, give me more on these 3, and then it'll do the Instagram script and reel and all that stuff, and it's still like not.
Yeah,
it's not 100% because there's an article I want to. That I saw in the San Antonio Business Journal today that there's a big development that's going on that's getting approved. I think like Concardia or something. I can't remember.
Condelia.
Yeah.
Right there by my house.
Out there, yeah, way out that way. Like 400 acres or something like that?
Yeah, it's across the street from our neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, big development.
What is it, like multifamily? Or?
It's going to be multifamily, office building, single family.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's going to be a new district. On a large scale, yeah.
I love it.
Which is great, but then like it hadn't been suggested to me.
Right.
Like I found that one on my own. Like I feel like I'm finding more of the articles I really am interested in talking about on my own rather than it providing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. But I think the ones that it provide, like some of them it'll provide the same ones over and over. But you got to tell it like, hey, if you gave me one, don't give it to me again.
Yeah.
But you can break it down on there. But it's an idea agitator.
Yes.
It's not necessarily going to take it over, but it's going to agitate your ideas to be able to make you do better.
Well, and the what we were talking about before, like we started recording, like is like for our logo for our company. Like I went through iteration after iteration after iteration after it said, "Give me more of these." I like liberty and freedom were the 2 words that we wanted. Like give off a feel. We're trying to create a new name for a company, and it's like I said, I want to the emotion of liberty and freedom without using the words.
Right.
And you got to be that specific.
Yes. That's the key. Is it the once you realize it, I'm willing to give you 10 pages of input to get my output. Nice. Like that's when you unleash the creativity of AI, because then you start getting something really, really good. Most people are just like, write my paper for me.
Well, most people tell ChatGPT what to do instead of asking it to ask you questions to better answer it.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, it's getting.
And voice mode's where it's at. Like you just hit the
Well,
talk.
I was going to ask you, why are you typing into it? You're supposed to be talking to it.
Oh, no. I'm actually, it's funny. I did someone was asking me about a property, and I drove by it, and while I was driving by, I opened ChatGPT, hit the voice transcribe, and I was just dictating to it like, hey, I'm gonna send this summary about this property. So it's near this. This is what I know it's going on. Pull up the stats on how many units that is, and And by the time I got to my house, I just exported it as an email. So by the time I got there, I was ready to send the person everything. Done. It was just done. And it had pulled all the data. Looked at it. Okay, cool. Let's go. That's correct. But why
weren't we doing that when we were driving around the other day?
We should have. Yeah. The
problem I still haven't heard from the cow building lady.
Yeah. The problem is we're having too much fun.
I know.
Yeah. We're going and discovering new things and new places to eat. That was great. Maybe we should start with that.
Let's talk about the Little Blue Diner.
Little Bo's Diner.
Yeah.
I thought it was Little Blue Diner.
No, it's Little Bo.
Little Bo's Diner.
I think it's just Bo's.
Bo's Tiny Diner.
Bo's Tiny Diner. Yeah.
Is it?
Because it's on Bo Street or something like that. It's Bo something Street.
It's on South Alamo.
Yeah, but it's on the corner.
Yeah, it's Beauregard, I think is.
Yeah.
That would make sense if it's on Beauregard and it's Bo's. I've been telling everybody it's Blues.
Oh, you're right. It's Bo's Tiny Diner. Yeah.
I had the Tiny Diner.
Yeah.
That was.
I had the Bo's.
Yeah. Turn up the Bo's.
That's why we're partners.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that because that was a great experience. That was a Southtown, sit at the counter, talk to all the staff.
I love the experience. And there's been several people I told about it, and they're like, "Oh, I thought all of that guy's restaurant sucked." And I was like, "I don't know the guy. I don't know. I mean."
Hey, Little M's.
Yeah.
I mean,
I liked all of them.
I haven't been to all of them.
Like one of the guys that we were talking to said, "Oh, I thought all his restaurants sucked." Remember?
I think I like his Little M's. I thought had got great reviews.
Yeah, I've had Little M's, and I thought it was great. But my problem is I'm a little bit of a fatty, and so I want lots of portions. But I don't blame him because that's sort of the category, of what it was. Yeah. So.
But I feel like Bo's we got a good.
Yeah, it was good.
Got
yes.
big portions.
Yes, I was.
They had the pancake was like that big.
The
around.
Pancake looked incredible.
Yeah.
We got to go back. Yeah, for that. But no, it was great. I mean, well, also just like I've redriven. Well, actually, why don't we tell the audience what what was the theme? Like, because I feel like we were such a
mission.
We were on a mission. Yeah.
An exploratory.
Yes.
Development mission.
And you might see video of it right here if we can give it to Eric and he can put it in there. We got some us driving around.
Oh, it was because I love all of those areas, specifically south. I mean, we were in a lot of south of Southtown, Flores, that area.
All the way down to the tandem. I hadn't been that far down there.
Yeah.
And those are two of the coolest spots. Three of the coolest spots. The coffee shop, the under the bridge amphitheater.
Echo Bridge.
Echo Bridge, which is crazy, and then the maker space.
Yeah. So what's crazy is when I moved into my house, which is right next to Confluence. Which is funny because all of that was showed to me by my pastor. So shout out Doug Robbins, City Tribe, because he's an urban OG.
Yeah.
Even before I was.
It's always the pastor's.
He knew, and he was the one. So before I bought my house, he took me to Tandem, and he was like, "Yeah, you gotta check this out." So he was in the know, and I was like, "Oh." And then when I moved in, I think it was the week I moved in, that Friday, I went there because they had a fish and chips. I think they still have them. It's a fish and chips food truck. and I think the owner's from Ireland, and so it's like a legit fish and chips place. It was awesome, and but what I love is that you would think it's too far south. Right, there's nothing. Oh, surely can survive, but it has. I think in tech they call it the minimum viable product. Yeah. So it's like, what's the bare minimum for you to create your product and like get something? And I think this is minimum viable development. Yeah, it's like, okay, there's these. It's a coffee shop. They do food. They do open mic night. Like that's the place to hang out and do your homework.
Thursday night comedy.
Thursday night comedy. Yeah, we're gonna go back.
We're going.
Yeah,
that's tomorrow.
It's like the convenience store in the country that has the restaurant attached to it, and that's the only thing that's around there. So that's where people go.
But then across the street, how would you even describe those? They're studios? Like it was. It's
small studio, like. But the thing is, from the outside, it literally looked like
a warehouse.
Well,
it felt like it was a warehouse. Yeah. Didn't you point out that they just put a roof over
roof over the roof?
Yeah, it was like, cool. But the building reminded me of like an old like electric company or telephone company because it even has the fence around it and everything. But there's no gate on the fence. Like you could still like it was some sort of industrial office / warehouse. And
it was awesome.
They got. Money in the
thing. Yeah.
There's still money in the concrete.
That's the coolest thing is like some of the holes in the concrete.
Yeah.
They filled in with epoxy and had like
coins
in there, little marbles or just different stuff like that.
Yeah, just little art pieces.
But like the whole idea is, I think that we saw that we looked it up again using ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I think there were 65 units available, and these are maker spaces. It's sort of like Blue Star where like they're making, these are artists, painters, sculptor, whatever. And so as you're walking through this building, which is open, it's not locked.
You just walk through there.
You just walk into these people's
art
homes,
with prices,
like
next
art
to it.
on the wall with prices and everything. And it's like, how many people in San Antonio know about that place?
Yeah, it's so unknown.
Not enough.
Not enough.
I'd be scared to build an apartment complex for artists because you like coined the term starving artist. Like, how you pay your rent, bro?
Hey, they're charging $1,500 for some of these paintings.
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta get more people in the door to buy those paintings.
Yeah, but it's crazy is like they're making it happen somehow. Yeah. Well, and also you can tell from the build out that he's keeping his costs down. So like I think he has that perfect balance, which is really what Blue Star did very well. It's just like I think it's like
it's the second like it came up after.
I think it's like the continuation of it. Yes,
because Blue Star's the rent they can't.
Yes.
It reminds me a lot of the one right there. What's the one where they have the fruiteria downstairs?
Oh yeah.
Is it Cadillac Law? No, it's not Cadillac.
Candy.
It's
Judson. There's Judson. There's Candy Lost, and then there's I know exact Steelhouse.
Steelhouse. It kind of reminds me of Steelhouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to finish out the real industrial kind of vibe.
Yeah, but I love it because it shows that it doesn't have to be like super high end finish out. You don't have to be right close to downtown, right? So right off the bat, it's breaking a little bit of sort of what people think you have to do in order for a good development too.
But to get a good development, you have to start with the starving artist. And it's a contra. I'm trying to remember. This is something I really would love to quote and everything. It didn't come out of my head.
Yeah.
But I was listening to a podcast and everything, and they were talking about like development. And I don't know if we were talking about it, but it starts usually with like the gay community and stuff like that. Where
Richard Florida. Okay. So he wrote a book called.
That's where I heard it from.
Yeah. So
I'm quoting him to him.
No, I was, but you're doing the Gabrielle Reese setup. I'm just gonna come in and spike it. So Richard Florida, which I mean, this is his probably most famous book. So anybody watching should go read it. It's called Rise of the Creative Class, and he had something in there called the Bohemian Index. And the Bohemian Index was with the artists come in first. They come into an area that most people don't see the potential. They see the potential in it. They go in, make it cool and hip, and then all of these things happen like after them. And by the time we get there, it's already sort of crossed the chasm. And then they're sort of moving on to the next one. They're probably getting even priced out a little bit.
Right, which is what Blue Star is. They're probably getting priced.
Blue Star is a great example of the loop. And so it's at the end of it. And so now all of a sudden, boom, they're going a little bit south. It's a little bit further out. And so, yeah, so it's funny because after he published the book, the Bohemian Index, I think it got renamed to the Gay Index, but it's really just a moniker for the creatives.
Yeah.
Where do the creatives go? The creatives go somewhere where it's a little bit gritty. The key is affordable, so they can afford it, and then you probably get you probably start getting the $5 lattes after them, right? Like they come because they know, oh, this population can actually sustain us. Alcohol, all of that stuff sort of follows them.
Yeah.
And that's we're seeing it. So we got to see it in its like the initial stages of it in that area. And that's what's so cool. And I think that's what anybody should go. They should go visit it as a case study of what you can do, because it doesn't take a lot. I think that people think that you have to have the coolest whatever, and you don't. But it does have to be thoughtful.
Would either one of those stand alone?
That's a great question. I don't think so. I don't think Tandem stands alone without those studios, and I think the studios are a harder sale. I think you could because people are always gonna have to live somewhere. But I think that you're giving them a place to hang out.
I think Tandem could make it because of the Echoes Bridge, because of what it creates, that little thing.
I don't know how many people actually. I mean, I've seen the Instagram, but it looks like
I don't think it's consistent enough.
I
think what it is it's a delighter in when we're Rackspace. We were talking about customer service. Like there's must-haves and there's must-haves and there's delighters, which are basically just sort of extras. And I think that what you're seeing, what Tandem is, I think you need coffee and food, and really a place to plop your laptop open and chill out.
Third space.
Thank you. That's a better way to say it. So I think the must-have is you need a third space. And then that is just a really delighter nice to have. It's a cool, hip thing, but I don't think it's frequent enough to be a deal breaker. It's just cool because you know about it. It's like you're in the know. Versus, I think the studios it's also a must have because you need to have a place to live. But also they're so small that you want a third place because you're going to get claustrophobic in your little studio over time,
Yeah.
And so it's just
they're like 600-700 square foot.
Yes,
they're small.
Well, also too because anybody that's been to a big city knows, okay, I'm gonna be in this super tiny apartment. The city becomes my living room, becomes my patio, becomes my my backyard, and we're not used to seeing it in San Antonio because but that's what it is. That's what that little place is in there. And it's just really well done.
It's like New York City.
It's like New York City, yeah.
You got to leave your apartment because it's only 400 square feet.
Yes.
And you don't even have a stove, so you have to eat somewhere.
Yes.
You have to go to a restaurant.
Yes. And also, too, I think that it has to be said that it's a super quick drive into the action.
Yeah.
And so there's no traffic. You're not going to get stuck on, 90 or whatever. Like you go, bloop, you're into Presa, you're into Southtown. I mean, it's just like that. And I think that's what's exciting is you go, okay, there it is. There's a model for that. And I just think, we got to do more of it. I think that you do development in an area like that. I think you're going to have a lot more success, or a lot more, not success, I'd say a lot more tailwinds than you would in a place like St. Paul Square, which I love. My church is in St. Paul Square, but it's landlocked, and you can't do more resi there. They can. There's just not an appetite for it there's no political will for it.
So if you could put something in that area, what would you put in?
In which area?
Over by, close to that makerspace and Tandem, in that little general within a couple blocks.
Yeah, I think what I would do
to really kind of seed that micro district.
I think what I would do is I would add more retail to complement Tandem, and then you do multifamily around it because it's on the river. Like, it's actually, I think, a crime that's far south you don't have more multifamily. It doesn't even have to be on the river. Yeah. It could be near the river, but you're on the San Antonio River, and I think if you give more people options than just Tandem, then people go there for more than one reason.
And I'm directionally dumb.
We know.
I am too.
So which preface that with the question is like, so as they're building out UTSA and such, like how far, like I get lost when we're just driving around downtown. Stuff like where I am situationally.
UTSA is a good little ways away from there.
Like where they're building a lot of the stuff. Like how far is that? Like
I would say that UTSA downtown looks far on a map, but
it's quick to get in.
But it's quick to get in. Yeah. Yes. If you're going through, if you're not like, if you remove the highways, because sometimes the highways can be iffy, but going up Flores, going up Presa and Cuddy, like actually
probably
really
10 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's 10 minutes maybe. It's not because you're not
perfect for a student.
It's perfect for a student. 100%.
Less expensive.
Yes.
More affordable.
Yes. Your commute into it is going the opposite way of traffic.
And that's who, again, it's the Bohemian pool.
Yes.
Students are the same one. They're the same way.
Yes.
In a lot of ways.
Oh yeah. Well, there's on the other side of I think it's on Mission Road, across from the golf course. There's a huge apartment complex. It's huge. I think it's like 500 units, something crazy, and it's full of people, and they're all young. And I just think that, to me, that's one of the signs.
Like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was very controversial because there used to be I think if I'm not mistaken, there was a trailer park there, and the owner sold it, and everybody went nuts. But I would say that it's unfortunate to them. I'm not trying to minimize the 200 people, but we as a city netted 300 dwellings because of that one project, and it's full. So I think it was great. It's unfortunate, that you had to displace them, but I think that area is the future. I mean, that area is just prime. I love that area. That's where the missions are. That's where the river is. I mean, you have see, those are to me, that's the thing that I always think about when I think about the South is you cannot replicate Mission Reach, right? It's a gajillion years old. It's a UNESCO heritage site. That's crazy. Yeah. And then the river. You just can't replicate the river. And both of those are two assets that for like decades it's just been nothing. A bunch of motels. How many motels do we see down there? Oh my gosh.
By the hour motel. Like.
yeah. Actually, my buddy
Randy. Airbnb.
That's a different district.
Yeah. Actually, my buddy Randy said there's two types of hotels: doors you can get from the outside and doors that you get in from the inside. And I was like,
that's a motel and a hotel. Yeah. It's a big difference.
My wife's bougie. She only wants the doors inside.
Yeah.
It's a safety thing when you have kids.
Oh yeah. Well, you have like your outliers like Ranch Motel because it's taken old asset, but that's sort of different. It's
If you're in Alpine or Marfa, it's a whole lot different. It's a whole lot different.
Yes. It's a different vibe.
There's a different vibe.
Oh yeah. But I love that area, man. That's my job. I live in that area too.
To build stuff that's affordable, you gotta move a little bit outside, and it's like it's slowly. It's like rings on a tree, right?
Yes.
You slowly got to move out little by little.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with the growth of San Antonio. It all started like Alamo, Main Plaza, all there. And then as San Antonio aged, it just got further and further out, and now we're 1604.
Now the rebound back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a buddy of mine. Actually, we just became sort of buddies. And he's a columnist, so he's starting to write regularly for Voice San Antonio. His name's David Morin, and he's an urban nerd. Like if he wanted to take the title away from me, I would bow down. Like he's a legit guy, and he has I think it's Mission Kayak, so he owns that company, and they do kayaking south of there. And he was saying that it's the development in San Antonio. You have to look at it block by block. Such is my favorite line from him. You can go one street and it just doesn't work. It works on this street, doesn't work on this street. Yeah. And on the south side, when you look at it, it's so interesting because some of the neighborhoods are really game for it, and some of the neighborhoods are really terrified of Actually, I heard there's one neighborhood. I forget what street it's off of.
Probably Del Mar.
I forget what it is, but they sort of push back on any multifamily because they don't want it to turn into Section 8. Which I totally understand, but I go, hey, you can't, you got to do something.
And don't put that Little Caesars in Lavaca.
Oh god. Oh yeah. Oh,
Remember all the
yeah.
signs? Yeah,
Oh man, no fuel
there.
time, no
Yeah.
fuel. It's just hard because I just feel like I get it because I'm like, hey, I don't want something terrible next to my house, but I go, like, who's the arbitrator of that? It's so bad.
But then maybe they're looking at who's eating Little Caesars.
Yeah, that's true.
Little Caesars is solid. I think it's
No,
solid.
are you kidding me? It's a solid. I grew up on Little Caesars.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
Little
don't like
Caesars.
I like it better than Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I like it better than? A building that's been empty for 10 years,
Yeah.
and there's probably a homeless
Squatting.
guy in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like it way better than that. I like it way better than a pawn shop.
I mean, he's not homeless. He has a whole building he's living in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's funny. I actually toured a building in on South Presa once, and there was a homeless guy living in there, and the homeless guy let us in and was like walking the property with us and like giving us like, what you should do with this wall, right? And I was like, oh my god, this guy. I was like, what should we do? Oh, you should put a TV right there. And I was like, awesome, man. This guy's got opinions.
How did you get homeless? You're
yeah, exactly.
She's like, I'm not. I live in a building.
Yeah.
I have the whole building.
Yeah,
How big is your house?
Yeah,
Mine's
exactly.
this
Yeah,
many
yeah.
square
He had
feet.
a whole setup, man. I was like,
I've literally shown a house to like, or with the contract. I brought my contractors in, and like there was a homeless guy, and he was just like squatting. He just like stayed in his corner and everything. We're like, okay. It's like, I'm glad we're a Second Amendment state.
yeah.
Squatters
Yeah.
are
Yeah, it's
The,
crazy.
fun.
This is kind of tangent, but I thought have you seen the protest in Mexico City?
Oh yes, yes,
Like it's crazy how like gentrification is affecting everybody now.
yes. I know some people that actually have moved over to Mexico City from here.
So
San Antonio.
they're being protested.
Yeah, I don't think they're in Mexico right now. But I need to check on them. But it's funny because a couple of the locations I saw, I went probably like maybe 10 years ago. I went to Mexico City. Hadn't been in a while. And I remember the little area was called the Condesa, and it felt like Europe. I mean, it literally felt like I was in Europe. Everyone was very attractive. Everyone like was not overweight. Like everybody had they were walking around with purebred dogs, and like it was hip, man. And I was like, this is incredible. But I think like whenever you have an economic shift in a place like that, they feel it 10 times more than we do here, and we feel it here.
Yeah.
And so it's wild what's going on over there.
The
gringos are not welcome.
they're
right now.
not welcome. I even saw a video that they got there was people mad because Don Francisco from Telemundo that's been on there like he's a German Jewish immigrant. Like came over, his family came over,
And they were coming after him.
They were like, "Oh my God, he's not Mexican." It's like, it's like
That's
I've
crazy.
been watching this guy for 30-something years on TV, and it's like,
Yeah. Well, you know what? I also
but there's
saw,
like there's a lot. There's
Yeah.
a lot of Jewish people in Mexico because they couldn't get into the U.S. It was easier to get in there during the 30s and stuff like that.
I saw another article about the same thing in Paris. In Paris, they've been harassing tourists. Like they don't want tourists there anymore.
It's weird.
It's just so weird. Yeah. And I don't on one hand I get it. But then on another hand I'm like, well, what are you supposed to do? It's like I think what it makes me think of is that I think the problem is that we don't build beautiful cities anymore. And so the cities that are still beautiful like that, they're such a magnet for people. You can't keep them away.
But Dubai does, right?
Yeah, that's true.
The thing.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to visit a city that's walkable, but they don't want to live in one.
Yes. Well, everyone wants. The problem is the people that live there love it, and I think the pendulum's swinging, and there is an increase of people that want to live in those cities, and there's just not enough stock for them.
Well, I think we're flipping back from COVID. Like before COVID, downtown was booming.
Yes.
Like people were building out the east side, south side,
Yes.
all that. COVID hit, everybody's like, let's move out of town. Let's get an acre.
Right.
We don't have to go drive to the office anymore. Now that it's over,
Yeah, people want to be
are
around
like,
people.
let's come back down.
Yes. Or like, what about this? Do you hear anything? I mean, you guys probably know better than me. Do you ever read anything about shopping malls? I just feel like they're Like what we're seeing in cities is indicative of
Like a North Star, like a mall like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Nobody wants them.
Yeah. Exactly. That's my point. Is I feel like it's sort of swinging this other way where people go, I don't want that. I don't want something where you can get it anywhere. And when I go to Mexico City, it's like it's super unique, or Paris, or or those little pockets of what we have here in Southtown. You can't get that anywhere.
When's the last time you went to the mall and bought something?
I can't even.
The
remember.
only reason I've gone to the North Star Mall in forever has been one reason. I'd go there with Elena, and we'd go walk around the Lego store because she loves Legos, and just look at all the new stuff, and then we go walk around here and just like
a few stores.
Observe.
Yeah, the only reason I go is Apple Store. So the Bessa Broadway East district they're doing. If they can put an Apple Store there, like I'll never go to North Star Mall ever again. Yeah,
all that stuff.
I mean, because that's
I could see it.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it, and I could see it doing well over there.
So when you were first talking about that, I was like, what do we really need that? What value does it have, right? Mm-hmm. What value does it have to the city?
It keeps money downtown,
but also it brings people here. And I'll tell you, and the reason I say that I love TikTok, and I'm not a Twitch streamer follower, but I follow those guys on TikTok on the clips.
Interesting.
So like I put a video about Kai Cenat. I don't know if he was an agent and a couple other guys that they're renting out Tony Parker's mansion.
You said an agent?
No, his name's Agent.
Oh, okay.
Like a $19 million, but maybe I saw that. Yeah.
So they're renting out Tony Parker's house for 30 days, and they're streaming live. And so this is some of the biggest streamers. Kai was at the Grammys. Like he's done stuff with Kevin Hart. Like he's like one of the biggest streamers out there. And one of the videos, he coming out of Target. They were out in somewhere in San Antonio. They're coming out of Target like, what kind of shopping we got? Do we got some good shopping here in San Antonio? And the first thing was like, oh, he's wanting to go into like a Gucci place or a Louis Vuitton place or stuff like that.
That's interesting.
Well, he should have went to. I mean, the only place we have is La Cantera.
Yeah. Exactly. And so
that's interesting.
And so now that we're like building these things up,
yeah.
And I will tell you, like those streamers, like the guy that's Agent 00, I don't know how you say his name, but
yeah.
There's video. He was out there streaming, which is fine, great. But he was breaking up culverts and stuff that were clogged up from all of our flooding that we just had and stuff like that. They're like, there may be some flesh-eating bacteria. He goes, is there plutonium in there? And they're like, no. And he goes, all right. He's in the water. He's swinging a sledgehammer. Like, he's donating money. Like, these guys came to San Antonio, and then, like, they drove to the hill country. And like,
oh, wow.
It's like, these are good kids. Like
that's incredible.
So shout out to all these guys. Shout out to Agent for like
and so they come just to
stream it at Tony Parker's place.
And then 4th of July hit in Kerrville and all that stuff. And they wanted to help out.
When Tony was walking them through, he goes, here's my trophy room, and he puts up his thumbprint. And then the door just magically opens. He's got all of his jerseys and trophies everywhere. It's like completely hidden. Like
that's gangster. That's like
pretty gangster.
Yeah, that's like Cribs style right there.
And they're
biometric, boom.
Yeah, and they're like, and Tim just lives there. Like, Tim Duncan, and he goes, yeah, he lives right around the corner. He just lives right. He's like, all these people, and Tony Parker said what we've said all the time. He goes, he was talking about the Spurs. He goes. Most of the guys, once they play here and everything, they just retire here and live here. And that's what San Antonio is. It's like whoever you are, whatever level you are, San Antonio is like a great freaking place to live.
Yes.
Well, I went to that Spurs draft party at the Rock, and there were a few thousand people there, if not more than that. And I was like, man, they could have had all these people downtown. If we had Project Marvel done already.
Yes. It all goes back to Project Marvel. It all goes back.
How's that going right now?
Well,
how's our mayor going to do it?
Hey, the word on the street is she is not in favor of
she's
the
not
project.
A fan. No,
yeah.
not
she's
word
not
on the street.
fan.
Word on go back and watch
yeah. Well, the word on she's consistent then. She's been very consistent.
Did you see her chief of staff quit on her already?
Someone told me.
Within a month, she's like one of the slowest people to put a staff in place in the history of the mayors.
I don't know if this is true, but someone.
I don't know if that's true either.
Well, someone I know that I trust said that she's. I hope this is not true. So if it's not true, I hope someone corrects me in the comments. But I heard she's the first mayor that's requested a gavel. Like,
holy shit.
Which again, if I'm wrong, I will gladly apologize. But the person that told me was pretty reliable. I was like, "Gee, what? A gavel? Like, come on!" It reminded me of a 30 Rock episode where like they're pretending. Anyways, it was so. I was.
Well, I mean,
and that's reserved for Nelson.
Yeah.
Nelson gets the gavel.
See now, now Nelson deserves a gavel.
Nelson gets the gavel.
Nelson deserves like a gold gavel, like solid gold.
You
that
gotta
dude
do
is
something if you follow up Ron and his guns. Like,
yeah, that's true. You're right. You're right. You can't follow them up. That's the problem. Yeah. So, but I mean, they're doing these feedback sessions, and like I follow all the comments, and it's just like, oh man, it's like a troll central. I think that one of the things that we need to do is decouple the projects. Because I think, like, for example, like the convention center. If you take the convention center expansion by itself, the convention center, and just forget everything else, go, okay, let's look at the convention center. Well, the problem is that those are separate funds to do it. And we've lost conventions because other cities are now in the convention game and they're building bigger venues. So we need to expand that. That's completely independent of the Spurs. And so you go, hey, if we want our downtown sector to thrive, we probably need to do that.
And she has already said that one of her goals is to get the DNC here, the Democratic National Convention.
Right.
And so,
yeah. So you need that.
You part of it.
Yes, exactly. And then the hotel for the convention center, I'm pretty sure, again, happy to be wrong on this and be corrected, but I'm pretty sure that whoever builds that hotel will be a private developer that pays for it, because they will benefit from booking all of those rooms for the convention. And so I don't think the city's going to have to put up a whole lot. But I think what happens is we lump
what
everything.
What they need to do is they need to make sure that developer is tied to the city, though.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
An Embry or a Jovis or somebody like that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So I think that this is part of the problem is it needs to be decoupled. And I think I'm going to do a couple of articles on it because everyone gets so like fired up. Like, and I think the worrying part is that the amount of people that have said, screw the Spurs, let them leave. That's the part that hurts my every time someone says it hurts my soul.
But
yes.
People
Austin
forget,
is waiting for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've talked about that.
People forget the energy and the life that the Spurs brought to San Antonio 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been too long since we've had a championship.
It's been too long since we've been good.
Yeah.
People forget the life and the excitement and the energy and all the things that they brought. Let the Spurs have a winning season to make a playoff run.
Yes.
And Project Marvel gets pushed way easier.
Oh yeah. Well, also too, I think
we got a lot of bandwagons in this town.
That's what.
Well, yeah. Well, I think the problem is that it's hard to measure things like the economic development, opportunity cost, lost companies that you could have recruited, because like you can't measure a CEO saying, I didn't move my company because you lost the Spurs. They're probably never going to tell you that. Yeah. However, it is going to be in their calculus when they say, well, you don't have a whole lot going on here.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you lost the Spurs. Are you a city in decline?
Yeah.
Right? Because to lose the Spurs, I think to the outside,
our death now.
That's exactly. You're a city in decline. You're not a city advancing. You're a city going backwards. And I think this is what drives me crazy. Like, everyone knows someone who works at USAA, which is one of the top employers, great company. And as they are starting to shrink their footprint here,
yeah.
I go
very quietly.
It's very quietly
acting like they're not.
Yes, and you go, oh well. When they leave and you complain, and people complain about not having good jobs anymore, we go, well, one of the things that attracts companies is that you have things to do outside of the workplace, like going to a Spurs game. But people want to tie a direct metric to that, and you can't, right? But what you can't do is be a city that outside people think is going.
Well, and it goes back to like what we talked about also is the argument that you hear is, why spend that? We need more of this. We need more affordable. We need more this housing. We need this kind of. But those funds are not the same funds. Like
They're not. Yes,
they
exactly.
They can't even be used. Even if they don't build the spurs, don't do any of that. None of that monies can be used that direction anyway.
Yes, the mechanisms that they have in place, like the hotel taxes, like just hotel rental taxes, things like that. The only way that it's using your money is if you rent a car.
Yeah.
Right? Or if you stay in a hotel. So I go, how many of us have rented a car? Like, I think I rented a car once in the last 15 years here. And so, okay, of my $100, whatever it was, a small portion of that would have gone to the Spurs Stadium. I'm okay with that.
It's other people coming here to pay for it.
It's the vast majority are other people's money coming to pay here. And so even if the city council...
Could we get more people to come here if we did more stuff?
Yeah. What a concept, right? And even if city council and the mayor all voted, we hate this, we want to put all that money to fix your sidewalk, they couldn't. The way that it's structured actually prohibits them from doing it. So I think you have to separate, my pothole hasn't been filled, and we could be using this money. And the reality is you can't use that money even if we wanted to fix your pothole. Those are other funds. I also think that, people, like, I've heard some crazy, ridiculous things, which is, our infrastructure we need to fix. I go, well, we can do that as well. It doesn't have to be an either or.
Yes and.
Yes and. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, like when you do a bond, the bond only can go towards sort of like infrastructure projects, right? Which is why you have them.
We can't be going and buying gavels with them.
You can't. If in fact that's the case, right? Unless it's a gold gavel, I'd be on board for a gold
It's gotta have the Alamo engraved.
I think it needs to have diamonds. I think it should be sponsored by James Avery, the James Avery gold gavel.
What's the one? They still got America's diamonds?
Oh yeah. America's that's probably a better one.
That was the Spurs. They sponsored the Spurs for a long time.
America's
Spurs haven't won in a while, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. They might not sponsor it. Yeah.
They had at like midnight, the America's Diamond commercial
for like 30 minutes.
Yes.
The famous,
that's crazy. So I think that it's like the arguments that I'm hearing for it are just so disheartening. And
But it's like anything. People argue about things they don't understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
well, I also think that it's okay to acknowledge, like, I think it's okay to say, hey, we got it wrong with the Alamo Dome. We got it wrong with the with the AT&T Center.
Was it you that wrote an article talking about what if we just redid the Alamo Dome?
No, that was David Morin. So that's the guy I was talking about. And it was fascinating. If you go, which was a great article, and he was just saying let's retrofit it for basketball. But I've never seen, on all the Project Marvel content I've been a part of, I've never seen someone get one piece of content get that much emotional response. I mean, people, I didn't realize this. People hate the Alamo Dome for some reason. I don't get it.
I'm gonna assume it's the stairs.
I don't know what it is. I think no.
Awesome. I'm a huge fan of it, actually.
Of what?
The Alamo Dome. I think it's so, because for me, like at first I went to Hemisphere to watch games.
Yeah.
When I graduated high school, it was at Hemisphere Arena.
Oh wow.
That's where we rented out. Judson did, and when they built the Alamo Dome, I was one of those guys like, what are we going to do? You can't tear this down. Yeah. So glad they tore it down now. But like going in there, like if you remember the Hemisphere, anybody that remembers back, there was pillars all over. And you had seats right behind a pillar supporting a roof watching the game like this.
It's crazy.
Everybody hates the big things on the outside, all the pillars on the outside, but it was a structural marvel that they did that like that. So there's zero obstructed views inside the Alamo Dome. There's not one beam, not one pillar. There's nothing. It's
pretty incredible.
And it's like, and everybody's like, it's an eyesore, and it's like, no, it's a unique, cool ass architectural building.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
big. That was paid for 100% by hotel goers and people that are renting cars. What didn't come from the city of San Antonio at all.
I think people's big thing, everybody I've talked to, their big thing is like, what's going to happen to the Frost Center?
Who gives a shit?
I mean,
what does that have to do with this?
What's going to happen to the Frost Center? And I think we should go back, and as they're doing, I'm sure they're going to. They need to go back and look what the Clippers did when they built the Clippers' new stadium. And the Clippers focused on fan experience. And they need to go take some notes out of their book and put it into the Spurs arena. Like, go back and read what the Clippers did for their fan experience on the new one.
Don't try to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like, when people say, like, what are we going to do with the Frost? When they were building the Frost, right next to the Freeman Coliseum, where you're just literally putting the same thing, two of them on the same. There's like, what are you going to do with this? Well, they still use it. They still use it. And as a homeowner, when you're selling your house and it's time to move, you don't care what they're going to do with your house after you sell it. Like,
but that's the thing, though, is you're selling it. The city's not selling it.
The city
I mean, I think, again, this is...
Bring back La Semana Alegre.
I'm talking way out of my
Bring back the iguanas.
Bring back the iguanas.
I actually think you let the rodeo have the whole district. And turn it into a rodeo. Yes, yeah, and just have it be an ag zone. You know, like I would
build an urban farm like they're doing over there off Sherman.
I would take more ag programming all day long. It's unique to us.
Turn it into the Fort Worth stockyards.
Yeah, I mean, well, the rodeo already has stables. Like they have infrastructure there. I just think double down. But I think to your point, like. We don't have to figure that out. I mean, we need to figure it out, but you wouldn't have to figure that out to progress the city forward on these other components.
You can't let stuff like that hold you back.
Yeah, that's right.
It becomes, you can't let it becomes an anchor, and it's like if you want to progress, you have to like.
But I think it's a valid thought though. When you go buy a new house, what am I going to do with my old house?
You sell it or whatever. You get rid of it.
But I'm just saying, like, it's a valid.
It is a valid concern.
Valid thought. Like, you go get a new car. What am I going to do with my old car?
No validity.
Yes. No. I mean, I think it is a valid concern. I mean, and also they've been burned. They were promised all this development, which I don't know who you blame for that. You know, but it was true. It was promised, and I just don't know.
It was.
It was on the island. It's been on the island the whole time.
It's been on an island.
It was a last minute thing. Like I feel like because every bit of like the Frost Center, or when it was being proposed and everything, it wasn't being proposed originally there. That was the secondary or tertiary choice, maybe even. They were originally going to have it over there where Hero Stadium is and Star Soccer Complex off Wurzbach Parkway in Thousand Oaks, that little quarry area. That was where they were going to put the new arena and then build that out with retail and stuff like that. And the east side was like, we don't get anything. Everything goes to the north side, and they bow down and they put it there, and it had no chance of survival ever. Like the plan, like what they were hoping and wishing and praying it would do. Is not a true plan.
Yeah, you know what you're saying, Ken, makes me think of is like, actually, as you're talking, you're like giving me an idea for an article, because
I'm an ideas guy.
Well, I think it's three thoughts. It's so much of our current headache has to do with decisions made years and years ago.
Emotional decisions,
or just sneaky negotiating, backroom deals that were made by long gone politicians that we're now having to deal with.
I think Nelson was there.
I always cut him slack because of the river. I'm like, man, Nelson,
you gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I go, so like we're a lot of the the dome, Frost. Hemisphere, all of it, those are decisions made decades ago, right? That are coming home to roost. I would even say also the deficit. The deficit is decisions made years ago by previous council. So if we want to, absolve and pardon everyone on this current council, say, hey, cool, you have nothing to do with it. But now you have to deal with it. And so you have the acknowledgement of deals from the past that are causing current day issues. So it's acknowledging those, part one. Part two is we need to work together to solve them. And then part three is you can't let those two things stop you from planning the future of your city, Right. And so I think that our city council and mayor have to still be bold enough to say we need to plan and think like a futuristic generational city while fixing the mess of decisions that we had nothing to do with that are coming back, And the big one is the deficit is like, I think it's like 3 million this year. It's going to jump to like 40 next year. And then it's going to be at like 105%, something crazy in like the next couple years.
Should have saved that money on them 504 seats.
I thought we should.
That was
maybe
wild.
we should.
That was wild.
Create a San Antonio Alamo token coin EFT.
Yeah. Well, actually, and this
rug pull.
Yeah.
So the deficit brings me back to one of the complaints that I hear, which is not from people in the comments, but so like my prediction is, it's going to be a bloodbath when council has to start cutting, specifically in the nonprofit sector. It's going to be a bloodbath. I feel for them, genuinely. I know a bunch of people in that sector, good people. They're doing good causes. They're trying to help. But what's going to hurt even more is because we haven't recruited awesome companies here. No one's going to pick up the slack. And so when Rackspace was at its prime, we had the Rack Gives Back Foundation. Yep. They were cranking back. Same thing with AT&T. Same thing with all these companies.
MCI WorldCom.
You have none of those companies here now. You have no companies that have backfilled that. And so when the city starts cutting those nonprofits, right, it's just another case to be made that we need to be recruiting incredible companies, growing companies, because it's when they start cutting this, no nonprofit is going to say, yeah, you can do without my service, right? They're going to say my service is part of what makes this city go. It's what we're helping people. All of it are legit, but I would say one of the decisions that's going to come home to roost is the fact that, oh, boohoo capitalism, we hate capitalists. And I go, all right, no one is going to pick up the tab like those guys could. The philanthropy you can get from all of those dirty capitalists in Austin is billions, okay? Dell Foundation and like all of them have money to spend on things like that we're about to.
And we can't lay it all on HEB all the time.
And you can't lay poor HEB, man. Their back hurts, from writing all those checks. Yeah, 100%. And by the way, Spurs too. Spurs gives back. Yeah. HEB, great corporate citizens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
HEB,
and
even like with the Spurs, like the Admiral Fund and stuff like that with David Robinson, like there's a. Oh yeah. It goes the Spurs. Philanthropy runs deep within their players.
Speaking of HEB, did you know they're opening 6 to 8 stores in Dallas over the next year?
Oh, yeah.
Their thing is to take over every other grocery store chain.
I love it.
I do too.
As a former partner, also, have you seen all the
they didn't hire me.
The reels and me.
We don't need FEMA.
We don't.
Yeah. That's I applied like 10 times before I got in. So I had to know someone. But yeah, all the relief they.
It's the greatest. They are such a great.
Oh yeah.
Member of our community.
Yes.
And I feel like they give a lot to San Antonio. They do a lot. Being their corporate. They did. Like I remember, like I don't know if they still do it, but like for years, as a teacher, you could buy gift cards, and you'd get a $100 gift card for $90, and $5 would go to the school district, and then $5 would go to that specific teacher for her to or him to recoup things that they buy outside their or whatever.
That's
something
cool.
Like that. And so like we were buying $500 at a time. Like you're gonna spend, it was like just boom, 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 boom. It's like we had HEB cards like stacked.
Back in the day when I was a partner, they would give you. They might even still do it. I don't know. They give you a free turkey for Thanksgiving if you were there.
Yeah, they still do it.
And so like there was one point where like I worked there, my sister worked there, my brother worked there. Like my mom had like 4 turkeys like in the freezer. It was the Gomez's were eating good that year. Let me tell you that turkey for
4
days.
Thanksgiving dinners.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, HEB. It was incredible.
Yeah. Everything's better.
Everything's
right.
better.
Yeah. Shout out HEB.
Shout out HEB. The I think that's a wrap today.
Running up on it, yeah.
Running
up on an hour.
We did it quick. It seems like it's long.
It's easy to do.
The come back. We'll have you go back some.
Yeah.
A couple weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks.
I'll be back.
Sweet. Do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch y'all on the next
Don't forget
one.
the Urban Nerd, Voice of San Antonio. Check out all their stuff and everything. Follow
Pretty much owns everything.
SA Local.
SA Local.
Urban.
And
Urban.
Anything urban.
Come downtown, spend your money.
yeah.
There you go.
And don't be scared to ride the VIA buses because I think that's a
That's right.
big
Yeah.
piece to bridging everything
I saw
together.
Waymo today.
Oh yeah. Did you really?